Hello friends and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Claire and this is the Wanderlust way away. So our stop today is at Rudding Park Hotel, which is a luxury hotel on the outskirts of Harrogate in North Yorkshire. We've booked on a spa package, so that means I'm going to be able to show you inside the spa. I'm going to be able to show you the restaurant and the room. Now this place does have other things, so there's a golf course, I believe, there's some lodges and stuff. That's not going to be in this video. This is purely on what we've experienced in this. Now this video isn't sponsored or anything like that, so you're going to get a genuine reflection of what it actually felt like to us. So without further ado, that's enough waffle, let's wander. Set within a Grade 1 listed Georgian mansion, this family-owned hotel feels quietly confident rather than showy. A place shaped by time, care and attention to detail. With around 90 bedrooms and suites and a long list of awards to its name, it's clearly well regarded. But what stood out to us wasn't the accolades, it was the atmosphere. We visited in January 2026, very much in need of a pause from the winter blues, and had booked one of their spa packages. We were lucky enough to secure a great deal, so if you also enjoy saving a little bit of money where you can, then it's worth keeping an eye on their email newsletter. But from the moment we arrived, the service felt effortless. We were greeted at the door, our bags were taken, and after check-in we were shown to our room. Luggage already taken care of. What stayed with me most was how genuinely welcoming the staff were. Everything felt calm, clean and thoughtfully arranged. As we wandered, we kept discovering little offshoots, quiet lounges, snug corners, places clearly designed for slowing down. There's even a cinema, a kitchen garden, which we bravely declined thanks to the weather, and a wall of photographs of past celebrity and important guests. So, if it's good enough for John Cleese, well, it's good enough for us. Well, hello. Would you like a room tour? Come through, come through. Okay, so this room, it's not that far from the spa, so if you're booking into the spa, it's ideal. On that note, if you are coming for the spa, then you get your robes and everything in your room. So you don't change down there in the spa. You change in your room and you walk with your robes to the spa. So this is the bedroom. Now, just a heads up, we are filming this the following morning. So the bedroom is not going to look as great as it did when we checked in. However, I did shoot a few little bits and pieces last night, so I'll try and slide that over in the footage so you can get a better idea of what it looked like. The bed was extremely comfy. I would say super king. And what I thought was lovely is they have a pillow menu. So you can choose a different type of pillow if that is what you want. So that's great. Now, wardrobe, everything's very classy here. So you've got your sliding wardrobe there. And inside the wardrobe was those spa robes. And there were some slippers as well. We've used the slippers. You've got an iron in there and an ironing board. You've got a safe. You've got a hairdryer. Plenty of space as well if you're staying for more than one night. Then you've got your bedside table. Now you can have breakfast in bed if you want to. I believe that's an extra £10 per room if you want to do that. But if you come in here and you just want to chill. And last night we got a turn down service. So when we went to the restaurant for our dinner, we came back, the bed had been turned down and we were given with this gift, a little Dotty massager. Dotty massager. And it says Dotty massager with compliments. She can be used all over the body using light rotating movements to help relax muscles, stimulate circulation and relieve tension. How cute is that? So that's cute. I like that. I wasn't expecting that. Now, what I've done is, because I have filmed the spa, but I've had to be really mindful of people's data protection, shall we say. Right, when you check into the room, there is a TV up with all their facilities and things. So I'm just going to show you this so you can just see that obviously this is what the spa looks like. Now I'm just going to turn the sound off because I don't know if there's any copyright issues on that. But yeah, so that's on their YouTube channel.
So I imagine you'd be able to access that as well. Now the swimming pool, I believe, is open to all guests. However, if you want to use the spa, then you need to book that separately. You get an actual time slot to use that. Now over here, there is a desk where we did get a little bit of paper and pencil. Everything you need. There's lots and lots of plug sockets here, which I thought was fantastic. And I love this as well. So you've got this radio, but it's not a radio because what it actually is a speaker. So you can Bluetooth your mobile phone, Spotify or Amazon Music, whatever you want to do on that. And this is what I like. Look at this, guys. This view. So directly across from us, you can see the rooftop spa. Now it is open. Hopefully we shouldn't get anybody in that because it's a bit far away. So you can see the rooftop spa at the top. Then underneath that is the swimming pool. And then to the right of that is the Horto restaurant downstairs. So lots of activity going on. It's really, really beautiful surroundings here. Right, I think we've done in the bedroom. If you've got any questions that you think I've missed, then let me know. But let's have a look now at the bathroom. The bathroom, come through, come through. So the bathroom has got a bath and a shower. It's a really, really lovely bathroom, this, and I believe it had underfloor heating. I want to say it felt very warm. Anyway, and then you've got your shower with both your head shower and then your side shower. And you did get a range of complimentary Molton Brown products. So we got a shower gel, a shampoo, conditioner, all that jazz. There was a soap included. There was actually everything that you need if you've forgotten what you normally would bring with you. So not really much more to say about this. Then finally, let's finish this room tour off with what you get in the room, food and drink sort of wise. So here is our little area. So here you've got your teas, your coffees. Now there is a drawer which has got lots of goodies in it. Obviously you have to pay extra for those. So price wise, we did have a bottle of Prosecco last night, a little mini one. That was £12. You've got these snacks here. So for example, cashew nuts, they're £4. You've got your crisps, they're £3. Then you've got these extra products if you want any of these. There's like a hairspray there, that is £10. Bits and pieces. Then you've got your fridge, which is obviously where those drinks were that I was just saying. So there's wine in there, there's beer, there's gin. All of that is obviously chargeable. I think she said the milk was obviously free for your coffee or your tea. But that's it. So there's your little room tour. Again, ask me if you've got any questions. I'll try my best to answer.
The spa here has won its fair share of awards, and while that sets certain expectations, it's only once you step inside that you really understand why. Now, we've visited quite a few spas over the years, but I must admit, I'm going to say this one genuinely impressed me. Before we'd even explored everything it had to offer, it already stood out as, I'm going to say, the best one we've had so far, the best spa experience. What follows isn't just about ticking off facilities, it's more about how it feels, the whole place, to slow down in a space designed entirely for rest. And there were a couple of unique features that I'd never seen before in other spas in the UK. Obviously it's a very rainy, cold day, so there's not many people around here. But we have got this spa bath to ourselves, which we're very, very excited about. There's just loads of little areas that you can explore. So there's this down here, there's another little sauna, and then you've got the cold ice baths down there. And then over there, it looks like you've got some rooms to just sit in and chill. I'm trying to be mindful of people's privacy, but you've got those there. So this is the rooftop.
I bet this is lovely on a summer's day. You enjoying it, AD? Are you enjoying it?
Hey?
Are you enjoying it?
Raining, so I'm getting wet.
Yeah, but you're wet anyway, so it doesn't matter. Alongside the hydrotherapy pool as well, there's a sauna, a steam room and experience showers, all designed to gently move you between the different temperatures, different experiences. One of the first rooms you pass through is the tepidarium, which is a softly heated space that helps your body adjust before you move on. But what really stood out to me was something I hadn't come across before, and that was the foot spas. Now, I've had normal foot spas, but these ones sort of used a traditional hydrotherapy technique to stimulate circulation by alternating warm and cold water. The sign on the wall tells you that this method of alternating between temperatures and pressures was introduced by a Bavarian priest. It's a hydrotherapy method aimed to enhance blood circulation. But these aren't the only thing here that were quite novelty on that aspect. So this is the oxygen pods. These oxygen pods are aimed to prevent signs of ageing and strengthen the immune system. Once again, there's a sign which tells us this, combined with the other hot and cold experiences, is aimed to help relieve stress. But then, after this, there's just one last thing I'd like to show you before we head downstairs. This is sunlight therapy, aimed at reducing SAD alongside some other benefits. Please let me know in the comments if you know of any other spas in the UK that have this type of room, because to be completely honest, this one's a new one on me. From the rooftop spa, everything shifts downstairs to the escape zone, an area available to guests who have booked a 50-minute treatment. Now, I'll admit I wasn't expecting quite so much to be tucked away down here. There's a calm, welcoming space to sit and wait before your treatment, which immediately sets a slower pace. I had a full body massage, which was deeply relaxing, and afterwards you're gently guided through into the escape zone itself. Now down here the atmosphere feels more introspective. It's less about movement, it's more about stillness. There are several small areas to explore, each offering a different way to unwind. A visual room projects nature scenes across a large screen, and then there's the relax room, which does exactly what it promises. It's a quiet space to simply rest. There was also an audio room with meditation and healing tracks, and a mind room filled with books and colouring books. They were all simple but thoughtful touches that encouraged you to stay present rather than reaching out for your phone. Now, alongside all this, there's a counter where you can help yourself to herbal teas, making it easy to linger a little bit longer. Now, I had no idea this space even existed, and honestly, we could quite happily have spent much more time here if we hadn't been keeping an eye on the clock for dinner. Now, overall, because we're going to move on to the dinner experience in next, so let's just finish off with the spa experience. Now, I'm going to say, like I said before, it was excellent. It was calm, it was spacious. We never felt that it was overly busy, which also makes such a difference. The only small frustration, and I mention this purely to be realistic, was that during our time in the rooftop spa, there wasn't a single moment when an indoor lounger was free. Now, obviously, if it had been a nice day, that wouldn't have been a problem. But inside, several were being reserved with towels by people who weren't actually using them at the time, which was a little bit frustrating, as it would have been nice to sit for a few quiet minutes. Now, I do understand the instinct. Once you've found a spot you like, that you naturally want to keep hold of it, but it would be lovely if loungers were used just for the time that people wanted to sit, and then that would open them up again for others. Now, I'm not entirely sure how the hotel would change that mindset, but it's really the only criticism I could find. So aside from that, it's genuinely one of the most impressive spa experiences I've had, one that left us feeling relaxed, restored, and ready to enjoy the rest of our stay. After the spa, everything naturally slowed even further as the evening set in.
The hotel has 3 restaurants to choose from, and we decided after looking at the menus online that we wanted to dine in the Clocktower Brasserie, which is a 2 AA rosette restaurant with a really good selection on the menu. Now, sometimes people ask what the dress code is. I would say smart casual for here. Some people were dressed very, very nice in posh dresses and things, and then other people were jeans and shirts and that sort of thing. So I think as long as you look fairly smart, you're okay. Now our spa package included a dinner allowance, which made the whole experience feel relaxed rather than restrictive, and it was nice to see an emphasis on locally sourced produce wherever possible, something the hotel clearly values when it comes to food miles. The meal itself was excellent and very much in keeping with the rest of the stay. Calm surroundings, unhurried service, and food that felt considered without being overly fussy. Once again, the staff were warm, attentive and quietly efficient, which made the whole evening feel really easy and enjoyable. This is also where we returned the following morning for breakfast, and again there's a menu to choose from with a really good variety depending on how indulgent or restrained you're feeling. On this day, of course, I went for the full English, just couldn't resist. If you don't want that and you want some cold stuff as well, there's 2 buffet areas where you can help yourself to juices, pastries, cheeses, fruits, cereals, you know the score. Now it felt like a generous, well-paced way to start the day. Exactly what you want after a restful night.
So that is it. Thank you to everybody for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. A massive thank you to Rudding Park Spa and their staff, who have all been absolutely amazing. If you've got any questions that you think I can help you answer, then please obviously drop them in the comments. So until next time, stay safe, stay curious and keep wanderlusting.